We really started off with the idea of the appeal of candy when it doesn't look like any sort of real food, but there's an appeal in its plasticity and kind of fakeness.
The idea of candy was really just like a very kind of like base, kind of abstract reference that was just really the first kind of jumping off point for it. I think something that's kind of common in all of our collections is the way we treat materials in a really democratic way. It's really about kind of mixing more modest with higher end materials and about the kind of juxtaposition of those materials next to each other. And this season going into the vinyl was really interesting because I think it's often called faux leather. We kind of really just appreciated the material for what it was and wanted to really kind of treat it as vinyl. We collaborated with jewelry designer Pamela Love. We had the initial kind of ideas, the initial kind of shapes and proportions.
It's got a real 60s psychedelic sort of vibe to it. Part Salvador Dali. It's very trippy and very poppy, very bright, and complementary Swarovski crystals in similar colors to the enamel, which created a really beautiful sort of tone-on-tone effect.
We've been with Swarovski for 3 seasons. We kind of wanted the elements to not be so much of a surface application, but they're more an extension of the materials we're working in, applying them to these hand-woven jacquards and having them almost growing out of this sort of texture where it becomes kind of this visual kind of confusion.
We decided not to do anything with any kind of real built-out set elements this time, but rather just kind of like focus on the lighting, which kind of lends itself to this idea of like artificiality.
When with the makeup, even in certain light it looks completely gone, and then other light it makes this really sharp little triangle at the corner of the eye. And it's that sort of thing where you have these kind of like flickery moments of these other things happening where visual confusion is it's kind of the goal this season.